Thank you for tuning in. This is the Game Changer 00100 show. I'm your host, Game Changer. And today we are going to talk about attention seekers. And why do men, particularly black men, hate them so much? Now, this topic came to my mind after the after call on the whole Aisha Curry situation. For those of you who don't know, I think that black society is being a little too hard on her, and of course, most everyone else disagrees with me. They think that they're being hard enough. So it begged the question: why is there so much visceral hatred for a woman who's an attention seeker when we know that women crave attention? I mean, it's so starting again. Why so much hate for attention seekers? Well, I come to realize, and actually I forgot that I did, but I hate attention seekers too. So I'm going to give a quick story. I was some years back, maybe it was maybe like 10 years ago, maybe a little more or less, I don't know. But somewhere around then, I was out with some friends celebrating. One of my friends got this new job that he was really gunning for. It was at a major company. I'm not going to say which one. So we go out and we go kick it in this bar. So he's an Indian dude, and so we went to a multicultural thing. Black people and non-black people, at least in Northern Cali, party a lot different than each other, and I'm going to explain that further in the story. So we went to a more multicultural joint, which focused more on drinking than it did on dancing. That's one of the main differences. So we go out, walk into the spot. Actually, I got there with my other partner. I got there first, and the first thing I noticed was these two really attractive black women, just sitting there, overdressed, but they were sexy as hell. Like they really spent more time putting themselves together than anybody else in the club. So me and my partner sit down, and then he finally came in. He found parking space, and he did too. And I look back and I look over at these girls, and they were just sitting there, kind of like posing. Like everybody else is mingling. They're talking, they're drinking, they're listening to music, they're dancing, they're doing something, they're laughing, they're having fun. But these chicks were just there, like statues, staring. Now everybody else had like jeans, t-shirts, and shit like that, and these chicks were in evening gowns. They were overdressed. Um, and now that's common whenever you go to like a multicultural thing. Okay, here's what's going on with that. Black clubs, in an attempt to filter out niggas, enforce a dress code. They have a strict dress code, and this is to eliminate the number of niggas that attend, that actually participate in this club. Now, that's that may work the first couple times, but then niggas just save up and buy a dress or buy some shoes, and next thing you know, the club get niggified. Anyway, so we're used to a couple of things that you don't really have to go to multicultural clubs. Like we're used to getting frisked. They don't really frisk you at regular spots. We're used to having to overdress, and that's something that they don't really have to do. So it's really a more laid back, casual environment. These chicks were way overdressed, and they were sitting like right there, like right in the front door. So the moment you walk in, what you see is their sexy ass legs. And the highlight of the night, because maybe we was maybe in there like 30, 45 minutes, maybe longer, I don't know. Actually, counting the time that we were waiting for dude, it may have been over an hour, to where somebody, actually, it was a group of like Asian people, Oriental Asian people, walked over to them and asked one of them to take a picture of them. I thought, God, you really look like you look strange when that happens, because you look like you're not doing nothing at all. It's kind of pathetic at that point. You look like you are not enjoying yourself. Everybody else is having a good time. You know, they're with their friends, they're taking pictures and shit, and you are just sitting there so unbusy that somebody can interrupt you. Well, I mean, somebody can approach you and not necessarily interrupt you, but they can approach you and ask you to take their picture because you're not busy. I don't think these chicks really understood how bad they were looking right then. I mean, they're overdressed, uneventful. They just kind of stood out like a sore thumb. So to save them, I had me and my partner, the one that just got the job, go over there and talk to them and invite them over to our table. They were sitting like right in front of the thing, like in front of the door, at just on a stool, and so they wouldn't look too bad, so they wouldn't look too awful, because once people start asking you to take their picture, that means something. I mean, you might as well be there, reading a book or some shit like that. You just really look out of place. So went over there, and my partner talked to one of them, and I talked to the other, and we were just going to invite them over. And the first chick. Now keep in mind, this dude he's not married, but he's in a relationship and he's not looking to cheat. Let's just say that. And the woman he was with at the time, actually, I think they might have married by now. The woman that he was with at the time looked way better than her. So he had no interest in her. The only reason why he went over there is because I suggested that he do that, and the only reason why I suggested that he do that is because they were looking real crazy, and I could not stand seeing black women look that bad. Anyway, but they do it to themselves for the most part. Anyway, so he did that. She shot him down immediately, and she did so in a way that her body language made it clear to everybody that she wasn't interested. I'm like, God damn, did you really have to do all that? And I talked to the other one, and she was a little bit more polite, but she was doing the same thing. So I left, and they stood there the whole night. We actually went out to the balcony after a little bit after that, and we was just outside chopping it up, and then maybe like an hour or so later, come back, and they were still in the same spot, looking exactly the same. The shit was just awful. I'm like, wow. So these chicks actually got up, shaved their legs, got together, found their best dress, put their best makeup on, got their hair did, maybe even washed their car and everything, just so they can shoot niggas down. Like, that was the highlight of the evening. They just, and nobody else talked to them. At least from what I seen, nobody else actually tried to get at them. It was the most pathetic, because when black people go out, they go out because they're looking to fuck. But other people, they tend to go out and they bring their girlfriends and they bring their friends, some of whom are of the opposite sex. And sometimes they'll even bring their brothers and shit like that. They actually go out to have fun. In the black community, black men tend to go out to get pussy, while many black women go out to see how many niggas they could shoot down. So, and these were those chicks. Very, very, very repulsive behavior. And that's what attention seeking from a black man's point of view is. When a woman is attention seeking, she is looking to garner attention without giving anything in return. Her goal for the night is to absorb as much attention that she can get from men without giving any sexual affection in return. That is her goal. That is extremely repulsive to men. These women are time wasters. These women are annoying. These women are teases. These women are just downright deplorable. I think with Aisha Curry, when the guys heard her say that, it reminded them of women like this. All black men have come across women like this in their life. It's so, yeah, I get it. It didn't really. In fact, I didn't think about it until later. It did not really remind me of these chicks because I already had an image of Aisha Curry, and that's the housewife and everything like that. So, and I still do. I still think that brothers are being too hard on her, because she is not these chicks. She is not out making the effort. She would like the attention that she would receive were she out in the club with her legs out and shit right in front of the door. So your legs is the first thing a nigga see when he walks in. She wished that she had that type of attention, but what sets her aside is that she is not going to these extremes to get it. And I find that admirable. She admits, just like any women, just like the chick in the club, she wants the same thing. But she is not willing to go to the extremes that these women are doing, to get it. So that is something I commend about her. However, that being said, attention seeking bitches are awful. They're disgusting, and they are way, way, way too prevalent in the black community. This is Game Changer 00100, and I'm out.